Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. We've got a great rundown for you, but you know what? It's dedicated to J.E., who said, I am the best. You know what, J.E.? You are the best. Here's your rundown. You might have sensed that there's a great disturbance in the force. Lucasfilm and Disney are reportedly putting their plans for future Star Wars spin-off movies on hold. The studio had planned to release one new movie every year, but Collider reports that Disney is rethinking their plans after the disappointing box office performance of Solo: A Star Wars Story, which looks like it's going to lose around $80 million. This has prompted Disney to delay future anthology movies, including the Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi films, along with the new spin-off trilogy from Last Jedi director Rian Johnson. It doesn't sound like any of these projects have been outright canceled, but there's just no word on when we might be seeing them. Keep in mind that no official announcements have been made. So far, the only new Star Wars film with an actual release date is Episode 9, which lands in December 2019. Now, I've also heard that the David Filoni animated stuff is still happening, and the Jon Favreau live-action TV series is still happening for the Disney streaming service that's headed our way very, very soon. I don't think that this is necessarily bad news. I think this is a, let's take stock here. Let's hear what the fans have had to say about both Solo and The Last Jedi. It's not just about financial returns. I think there has been this sort of growing disengagement with these properties, and I think it's important for Lucasfilm and for Disney to kind of listen to everybody and take stock. And I think it's kind of generally accepted that Solo coming out in May was a very bad decision on Lucasfilm and Disney's part. Apparently what Disney had done is they said, look, you guys can have all the money that you need to finish this thing, but it has to hit this release date. Instead of just saying, look, we're going to let it slide into December, because there's been a lot of turmoil behind the scenes, and I think that's one of the major things that has to be addressed, is that somebody with the clear vision and the clear direction and some scripts that are written well in advance and decided upon well in advance is kind of guiding where we're going to go with all of these stories. The stories are there to be told. I think a cool Boba Fett movie would be great. I think a cool Obi-Wan movie would be great. But don't churn them out, man. Don't just make this a factory, you know? Let us sort of breathe and anticipate and get excited for these things. And then also, like Mark Hamill has been intimating in some of his pre- and post-Last Jedi interviews, I think it's important to also hear the fans, and respond to them. I think it was a little crazy for Rian Johnson to go out there and just be so dead set on making his own distinct imprint on this franchise, especially in the Skywalker saga. But that is a long, long conversation, and it's being retold all over the internet. I don't think this is bad news. I think Star Wars is still a beautiful franchise with lots of great stories to be told. I think our love for it will grow again, and people that have dismissed it and sort of left it will come back. But, clearly Disney and Lucasfilm have got some stuff to figure out, and that's exactly what's going on right here. All right, you'll be able to do some cool new things in the next NHL game, but not on cool new platforms. EA Sports has officially announced NHL 19, the latest entry in their Pro Hockey Series. It will hit the ice on September 14th with Nashville Predators defenseman PK Subban on the cover of the Standard Edition and a Legends Edition with none other than Wayne Gretzky. As for what's new in the game, it will be the first in the series to offer outdoor rinks, complete with new character customization options, giving the game a more hometown feel that will allow players to work their way up from the pond to the pros. Unfortunately, like the previous games, NHL 19 will only be available on the PS4 and the Xbox One and will not be coming to the Nintendo Switch or PC as many fans had hoped. Now that is a big mistake, Electronic Arts. I know that FIFA makes you all the money. I know that NHL is a smaller, sports franchise for you, but we have not had a good portable hockey game in many, many, many years. You've got all the licenses, you got all the teams and the players and stuff. That should have been a natural fit on the Switch. The hockey games from their inception, thanks to you, EAC, have been incredibly accessible and fun for people that don't even know anything about the sport, and that would translate incredibly well, especially with the pond hockey and all the other sort of extras that you're adding into NHL 19. That would translate beautifully to the Nintendo Switch in particular. I'm disappointed. I think that that's a major oversight, and I'm definitely going to be asking EAC about that when I go to visit them about this game. I'm excited to see where they take us with NHL 19. I know a lot of people were not, fully satisfied with what was made in NHL 18, but as always, that game and that series, there's tons of love and tons of respect and passion and effort and work put into building the best thing that they can within the time constraints that they have. And I know a lot of those guys personally, and I'm excited to sort of reconnect and find out all of the exciting details in NHL 19, and my fingers are crossed that I am going to love it on the PS4 and the Xbox One, and I hope it will look and play even better than it has in previous years. We'll find out soon. Now, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles won't be staying down in the sewers forever. Paramount Pictures has reportedly begun developing an all-new big-screen film featuring the adolescent shelled reptiles. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Paramount is once again developing the project with Michael Bay, who produced the previous 2 live-action films. Although, despite his involvement, the new movie is expected to be a clean reboot and will start fresh with new versions of the characters. The last film, 2016's Out of the Shadows, underperformed at the box office, causing Paramount to put the franchise on hold, so it's no surprise that they want to start from scratch. Don't expect to see the new movie for at least a few years. Now, I may be in the minority here, but I actually thought Out of the Shadows was pretty fun. It was definitely much more colorful and more cartoony and more in line with some of the comic book stuff and the live action stuff that we'd seen before. But I know that people were Michael Bay'd out on Transformers and the Turtles. And it certainly has, the preponderance of explosions and crazy slow-mo pieces and stuff like that. But I like the Turtles. I thought they did an okay job. I think it's nuts that we're getting a reboot already, but clearly this is a juggernaut franchise that can make the studio a lot of money, and they are going to do everything that they can to kind of keep it current and keep people happy. And I know a lot of lessons were learned on the previous 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, and you know what? Visual effects are going to be better, and I think what we're probably going to get is a new movie that may turn into a franchise that more closely aligns with what people know from the cartoon series and the comic books, which is exactly what the fans want. And Michael Bay is probably just overseeing everything. Michael Bay has made Paramount a lot of money, so you can't really fault the studio for saying, look, we want your eye on this stuff. But we shall see. Hopefully the studio and all the creative people involved are listening. Give the fans what they want. That's, I think, the motto for today's rundown, right? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is borrowing an idea of Fortnite's, but not everyone is happy about that. Starting tomorrow with the release of the new map Sandhawk, Battlegrounds is getting an optional in-game event pass, which will cost $10 and give buyers the ability to earn extra in-game items and XP. Basically, it's exactly like the existing Battle Pass for rival game Fortnite. Not all players want it, though. On the official Battlegrounds subreddit page, many users are complaining about the event pass, calling it a greedy cash grab. As they point out, Fortnite Battle Royale is a free-to-play game, so you'd expect these kinds of microtransactions. Battlegrounds is also being decimated on Steam with a sharp spike in negative reviews since the event pass was announced. We'll let you know if the developers change their mind. Now, this is the thing, the Battlegrounds folks have entered into a minefield trying to compete with Epic Games and Fortnite. Epic has got all kinds of money in the bank, not just because of Fortnite, because of all of the other work that they do with the engine stuff and all the games that they work with. And if they're just trying to play catch up with this kind of stuff, it's really going to hurt them. Clearly, the fans, the people that are already invested, that believe in Battlegrounds, listen to the fans. That's what this is all about, man. I'm sure on these subreddits and on these forums and stuff like that, they're giving the developers all kinds of ideas. You cannot just chase what the other team is doing, especially if the entry fee is free, Yeah, Battlegrounds is in a very tricky position. It's not like they're going to disappear. They've got a huge fan base out there that prefer the kind of more realistic approach to the Battle Royale genre that they've created in there. But they have so much competition now and so much more coming that they can't afford to take any big missteps like this. We'll see. I mean, maybe this is going to work out for them financially, and then they can turn some of that money into investment into some new directions that leapfrog over some of the choices that are happening in Fortnite. But yeah, you got to listen to the fans. People that make stuff, listen to your fans. Players are going to get loads of new racing games from the makers of Burnout. UK developer Three Fields Entertainment, which was founded by former members of Burnout developer Criterion Games, has announced not one, but two new projects. For starters, they're making a sequel to their last game, Danger Zone, which was released on the PC last year. Like that game, the sequel will put a heavy emphasis on crashing, with the gameplay heavily inspired by the crash mode from the Burnout series. That arrives next month. Now, if you need more crashing, Three Fields' other upcoming game is called Dangerous Driving and is a closed-track competitive racer that will also feature awesome crashes. That arrives this winter. I'm excited about this. I think this is Alex Ward, who used to work at Criterion, who is understood the value of the properties that they were building over there. They really carved out this incredible niche with Burnout and Black. And they were one of the most respected developers in the world, and then they got kind of sandwiched into being a service developer for some of the other projects that EA was working on. And it's unfortunate, but this is how new amazing franchises get built. You know, you splinter off, some of the development team goes off and says, no, we believe in our philosophy and our design ideas, we're gonna go for it, and enough people buy that first one that a sequel gets made. And if enough people buy that sequel, that third one is key. The third game in some of these new emerging franchises can change everything. We saw that happen with Burnout. We saw that happen with Grand Theft Auto. Hopefully we'll see that happen with Darksiders. It's exciting. I hope it's good. I hope the people that are working on it are happy. But most importantly, I hope the fans are happy. I'm looking forward to playing these games. Now, EA might never give us another Burnout game, but they're doing something else that's good for the industry. EA has renewed their partnership with the nonprofit organization Girls Who Code, aimed at teaching young women how to code and program in a bid to create more female game developers. From now until August 3rd, EA will host 20 girls at their headquarters in Redwood City through a 7-week summer immersion program where they'll be introduced to game design. EA, along with other big tech companies like Facebook and Microsoft, have worked with Girls Who Code for the past several years. I think this is fantastic. I think that the more community outreach that's done, and that's why we're telling you guys about it right now. Anybody that's got a daughter or a niece, or a girlfriend who you think should be paying attention to something like this, please do. We need more women in this business. We need more perspectives. We need more women in key creative roles to help us kind of not just diversify the people making games, but also the ideas behind these games. You know, like if we get a lot of different kinds of stories and concepts and people that are thinking about mechanics in a different way and interactions between interactive characters in a different way, it's just going to make this business so much better. And we were just at E3, and I've been to all 24 of them, and clearly there are more women at the event, and they're involved in lots of creative roles and stuff, but not enough, and I've been to all of them, so I've seen the move away from booth babes and to interviewing female producers and female game directors and female programmers and stuff, and I love that. But God, it would be great to see. One day, I'd like to go to E3 and it's as close to a 50-50 split as we could be. There are still so many dudes at E3, and the business will only get better. Trust me, the business will only get better if we have a lot more choice and a lot more original thinking and original ideas and all of the passion that will be injected by having, this creative diversity, not just this physical diversity, but this creative diversity. Anyways, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, we have tons of other content for you to check out, so please do hit subscribe, that little bell, and if you're so inclined, that sponsorship button too. We'll see you tomorrow with a brand new EP Live. Until then, play forever.